Welcome everybody. Today we are going to the Pesty Chutney in Budapest to meet up with Allen Diwans, who runs this amazing restaurant. I hope he will learn me how to make chicken biryani because it's my favorite Indian dish. Let's see. I'll go there now. Hello everybody, I'm here with Allen.
Allen, hi.
You are the owner of this place?
Yes, I'm the owner and the chef of this restaurant, Pesty Chutney.
Yeah, and you also do YouTube?
Whenever I get the opportunity, I do. When I'm not busy in the kitchen, I also do that.
Which you are quite often, because it's a well-known place and it's a nice place.
Thank you.
Today we're gonna cook something I've been looking forward to for a long time. It's chicken biryani.
Chicken biryani, yes. Chicken biryani is a national dish. It is a celebratory dish. It is when you have a festival, when you have wedding, when you're inviting people, when there is something going on, there must be chicken biryani. You know?
Oh, yeah, it's a festive dish.
Yes, yes. And for some people, it is quite complicated to make. Yeah. But what are we going to do today? What do you think we are going to do today?
I heard there's so many ways to make it. I've seen these YouTube videos where like you have these big pots and different layers. But I mean, not everybody can make that.
Yeah. We are going to try. I'm not saying we will succeed. We are going to try to make it in a simple version, so that you can make it at home as well. We are going to start by explaining and understanding how the spices work. Because the spices is the most important ingredient on how to use the spices and also when to use the spices. Okay, so this is a very important thing that we have to learn. And the first important thing we have to learn about the spices is that we have two categories of spices. Now, if I can invite the viewers in and I can show them the spices. Now, these are the two categories of spices. Now, this spice we call the whole spices or the dry spices, and these spices are the powdered spices. And I'm going to teach you today how to use the different kinds of spices. Now, what we need to know about the spice is that each spice has its own unique characteristic, its own unique flavor and unique aroma. Now, my question to you is, and I know this is not a class, but my question to you is, where do you think this aroma, this flavor, these characteristics come from? Where is it hidden in the spice? The aroma, the flavor, where is it hidden?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
You have to teach me.
Okay, so now I'm going to teach you while doing the cooking process. So we have a pot on, we are going to add some oil here, and then what we are going to do is we are going to add neutral oil, and we are going to learn the reason why we are adding the neutral oil. Now, in this neutral oil, I've got some whole or dried spices. I've got some bay leaves, I've got some cloves, I've got some cumin, I've got some cinnamon, I've got some fennel seeds, I've got some green cardamom pods, I've got some dried chili. Now, one thing I want the viewers to know. Please don't be intimidated by all of these spices. Now, what we need to do when we cook, we need to cook from our heart and we need to cook with passion. If we do not have certain spice, we are not going to start crying, oh, I don't have this spice. No, if you don't have the spice, it's okay. Life will go on and the food will be flavorful because you have cooked it with your heart. So whatever whole spice you have, throw it in, experiment, see. You don't have to stick to a recipe. What do you think?
You really think you can taste the heart?
Yes, you can. We are going to experiment now.
Okay.
Now I have the whole spices. My oil is heating up.
It's heating up.
Now what am I going to do? I'm going to put the whole spices in the oil. Okay. Now look at that.
So
now when I put the oil in, you see that the spices are crackling up. this is what we want. We don't want to add the spices to cold oil, and we have to make sure the next ingredient is ready, which is onions in this case. Why? Because if we do not add the onions in time, the spices are going to
burn up. They're
going to burn, and then it's going to be bitter, and then you're going to complain, hey, the food is not tasty.
Yeah. So I guess you have to hurry up.
Okay, yes. But now the question is, what can you smell?
Ooh, cinnamon.
Yeah, and you can smell all the spices.
Yeah.
Ooh, right? Now you can smell all the power of the spices. Why? Because we've added the spices to hot oil.
Wow.
Now what happened when we added the spices to the hot oil? All the spices have oils in them.
Yeah.
That is where the flavor is.
Okay.
That is where the aroma is. Now when we add it,
so we have to activate it in some way.
so what we have to do is extract it. When you add, what does oil dissolve in?
Yeah.
What does it dissolve in? Oil. So heated oil, the oil comes out, you got the flavor.
Yeah.
The flavor is in the oil. Now when we add the onion is going to take up the flavors. Now once we have added the onions, we are going to add our next ingredient. What I want to simplify for our viewers the recipe is that you have certain processes. In the first process you take the whole spices. Now it doesn't matter what whole spices you have. If you have cardamom, fine. If you don't have, fine. Doesn't matter. Now the next step is you are going to take 5 ingredients. How many?
5.
That's very simple. 5 ingredients. We're going to use the 5 ingredients to make the so-called famous masala. Okay, so what are these 5 ingredients? Number 1, onions. We've already added them.
Yes.
Number 2 is garlic. Number 3 is ginger. Number 4 is chili. And number 5 is tomatoes. Now we are going to add them in succession. It is important to keep the succession in mind. The first was the onions, and we can see, you can come and see that the onions are becoming translucent. Okay, so they are becoming a bit translucent.
Yeah.
When we are at this stage, we want to add our garlic. Why? Because we want to cook off the raw flavor of garlic, and the raw flavor of garlic is very strong, not so nice to consume, but the cooked garlic.
Yeah, it's good.
Wow, the roasted cooked garlic is amazing, and we want to have the amazing flavors. Now, we don't want to add our ginger just yet.
No.
Because for the ginger, it's the other side.
We want to have the raw ginger.
Yeah, we want to have the fresh flavor of ginger. So we're going to wait until this garlic is cooked, and then we will continue with the process.
So Alan,
yes.
When did you come to Hungary, and why? Why Hungary?
I came into Hungary in 1999. It had only been a few years since communist had left Hungary, and Hungary was a very different country at that time when I came, and I experienced some interesting things. But I came here to study. I came here to study medicine. Yes, but I didn't finish or end up doing medicine. I became a chef instead. Now, my parents are from Pakistan. I was born in Kuwait.
Kuwait?
Yes. So can you imagine telling your parents, I'm not going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a chef. Not in today's world when you have a lot of celebrity chefs.
But
this is back then when being a chef, you know, and this is what you're going to do. So what do we learn from this?
That you should follow your heart.
That's it. High five, yes. So that's what you have to do. Everybody that keeps telling you, do this, do that. No, see what you're passionate about and do that. Yes. Now, we are here. We've added the onions. We've added the garlic. Now we are going to go ahead and add our ginger. And then we are going to add the powdered spices. We have to talk a little bit about the powdered spices, as we did talk about the whole spices. You might be saying, oh, that's a lot of spices.
Yeah.
But once again, whatever you have at home, use that. Okay, I'm going to teach you the 4 basic spices that is going to make your life much simpler. The first one is turmeric powder. Second one is chili powder. Third one is cumin powder. Number 4th is coriander powder. Now these 4 spices are powdered from one spice. They are the simple spices. Then you have the complicated spices, like you take a lot of spices and you make a powder. That's the garam masala, the curry powder. So you have the 4 basic spices. Now, how much do I add? Okay, so this is also the formula that we have to follow. We have to see that when I start adding the spices, the turmeric powder is the least, then the chili powder a little bit more, cumin powder a little bit more, and then the coriander powder a bit more. If it's a 4 portion food, half a tablespoon of turmeric, a little bit more of chili, 1 tablespoon of cumin, 1.5 tablespoon of coriander, and there you go. Simplify. Don't follow the recipe, just follow. Follow some of the recipes. Okay. Now let's add the spices. So let's add some salt first. We're gonna add some turmeric powder. We're gonna add some chili powder. We're gonna add some cumin powder. And we are going to add some coriander powder. Now, what thing we have to make sure that we do not fry these spices for long time. Why they will be burnt? You want to allow it enough time for it to get the aroma out, and then you want to add something which has water content in it, like our tomatoes. And now, please go ahead and add the tomatoes.
Fresh, finely chopped tomatoes.
Yes. Good.
So it releases all the water.
Yes, and then now our masala is becoming more or less ready. Now, when the masala simmers down, when the tomatoes are cooked, we are going to add our chicken, and we are going to stir the chicken continuously until you get nice coloring on it, nice flavors on it.
Sounds very good. So, Alan, what's your favorite Hungarian dish?
Well, I have a few. It depends. So I would say the most interesting dish, the Hungarian dish I've eaten, is a hortobágyi palacsinta.
Oh,
which is a pancake. It's stuffed with minced chicken, and it has a paprika sauce on it. So if it's made well, I really enjoy it.
have you ever tried like doing some Indian Hungarian food?
I did, and I must confess that I did try it, and I made it Hungarian, but it became more Indianish because you keep adding more spices, right?
Yeah, I get it. Isn't this the most famous Indian beer? Kingfisher?
Kingfisher and Cobra.
Cobra.
Yeah.
You have all the red beers here.
Yeah. We have Kama Sutra beer.
Kama Sutra? Is that Indian too?
Yes. And we have this is East India Company.
Kelet India.
Yeah, Kelet India Tash.
Wow, you really have some special products here. So if you want to see more of this kind of content where I learn how to cook dishes with some very nice chefs like Alan, and you should subscribe to his channel too, leave a like and comment what we should try next. Italian, Bangladeshi? I don't know. Let me know.
So, this is the restaurant, Pesti Chutney, which we opened 5 months before COVID, and we survived it. So, you know, with any restaurant, it's difficult, but especially if you get a pandemic, it's hard. But Pesti means anybody who is from Budapest, or anybody in our terminology, in our new terminology, it's anybody visiting Budapest.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Anybody living in Budapest, anybody visiting Budapest is termed as Pesti. Chutney is a condiment, is a sauce, is a ketchup, is a mayonnaise of our food.
Yeah.
It is something that enhances the flavor of food. It is something that enhances your gastronomic experience. It is something that you dip. Now what we want to do is we want to bring the Pesti people and we want to enhance their gastronomic experience. That's the idea behind the name. It is also telling that Pesti is for the Budapest people. So this food is not, we don't say it's authentic.
No.
But it is authentic recipes tuned into the flavor palettes of the local people.
So they will like it.
Yes, so they will enjoy it. So the food is always evolving, the food is creative. It's not that, okay, there is this one recipe and we have to follow it. We take inspiration from the recipe, but we follow our heart.
That's good. That's always follow your heart. If you can get one thing out of this video is to follow your heart. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
But you also have another place, right?
Yeah, the other place we also have, it's a newer place.
Downtown?
Yes, it's in downtown, it's near the Basilica. So if you want to eat Indian food near the Basilica, we will welcome you there as well.
And that's called Spice Lab?
Yeah, that's called Spice Lab.
Interesting.
All right.
So Alan, I know also a lot of people make biryani with whole chicken bones also.
Yes,
But
that is what I actually prefer.
Yeah.
Now we cook it without. This is the chicken thighs. This is the second
Okay,
best.
nice. Yeah.
So this is chicken thighs. What I like is chicken cooked on the bone because you have a lot more flavor. But you know, here in Europe or in Central Europe, people don't like to pick the bones and eat like that. So they're a bit fussy. But we forgive them.
It's more
we love them.
comfortable.
Yeah. But actually, what we like is when we eat the biryani, we eat it the original way is to eat it with your hands.
Yeah.
So you take a bit of rice and you take a bit of the chicken on the bone and then you take it off the bone and then you eat it. And if it is cooked beautifully and if it is soft, if it's falling off, then it is really amazing. But then we follow, but the chicken thighs, they have more fat in it. They are also more juicy. The breast dries out faster. So I would suggest if you're making chicken biryani, then if you like breast, by all means use breast. But if you can and if you like thighs, then use the thighs.
Yeah. And more flavor.
Yes, definitely. So now our masala is ready. Now once the masala was ready, we added the chicken, and this is where the attention and the care comes in. You cannot run away, you cannot do 10 things or 20 things at a time. When you are doing one thing, just give your full attention, love and care to it. So we have been here chatting with Frederik, chatting with everybody else, but we're also giving care and tender love to our chicken. And we are making sure that it becomes tender. So what do you have to do? You have to make sure you continuously stir it with the masala. And now you see the chicken has taken on the color. Ooh. It has taken on the flavors of all the spices that we added, all the flavorings that we added. And now what we want to do is we want to give it a little bit more juiciness. We want to give it a little bit more richness, and we are going to do that by adding some yogurt. Now we add this yogurt, and
it's not drained.
No. And this will give it that creaminess. When we add our rice to it, it will make the rice a little bit more rich. And now we want to, since we've added the yogurt, we want to take down the heat. We want to add the lid to it, and we want the chicken to simmer in this yogurt for a while and all the spices, and then we are going to add our rice to it. Now since we added our yogurt, we wanted to simmer our chicken, we wanted to cook it, and now you see all the yogurt has mixed so well with the chicken, and you can't really tell the onions, the tomatoes and everything else. And we have added so much flavor here, but we want to add a little bit more aromatics because that is what is going to make our biryani special. Remember, this biryani is a simplified version, but we are also still adding all the spices and all the flavors. So we want to add 2 herbs, and we are going to add them twice. So the coriander, I've met people in this world who don't like coriander, and I am thinking, are they really humans or are they aliens? But yeah, there are all sorts of people. Now we want to add this coriander twice. We want to add it now, so we have some flavor, coriander flavor in the background, but we will add it a little bit later as well. And we want to get the freshness from the mint as well. So we have the fresh mint. This is going to be a really herby biryani. And now we've added the coriander, we've added the mint. We're going to cook it a little bit more, not too much, because then the herbs will lose their flavors. And then we're going to add the rice, so we're going to add some toppings on the rice, and then we will let it just simmer and let the biryani cook. So now, as I said, our masala is ready, and as I also said, this is a more simplified version of making biryani. The original version, of course, is more complicated, but not everybody has the time, the energy for that. So what we are going to do is we are going to layer up this masala, this chicken masala, with a layer of rice. Now originally how they do it, they put rice, chicken, and then rice. So since we're making it a simplified version, we are just going to layer it with the rice now. And what we are going to do is we are going to make sure that there is about 50% of rice. Now this is just boiled rice, so you just have to boil some rice with some cumin, which we have done here, and then we are going to add some more aromatics on top of that.
So you're layering it like lasagna or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll give it some time. Okay. After adding the rice, we want to do some toppings on this one. So we are going to make a topping of the spice. Now I have over here a spice called the biryani masala. We're going to sprinkle a little bit of the biryani masala. You know, we added the simple spices in the beginning, but now we want to sprinkle it with some special biryani masala which you can find in the Asian stores. Then we are going to add, of course, as we mentioned earlier, we want to add the coriander leaves for all those nice lovely aromatics. Yes, and of course we are going to add some mint leaves as well, and we are going to let it simmer on a very low heat. For aroma, we're adding rose water. Rose water is very concentrated and it has a very nice flavor, but you don't want to add too much of it, just a few drops here and there, and that's enough. And then we want to add a little bit of butter in it. Yes, of course, biryani is not a low calorie meal, okay? No low calories here. So we add some butter all around, and then we are also in the end going to top it up with some browned onions. And now we want to let it just simmer until for a few minutes.
Okay. Oh, looks good.
Music on. So this is how we present the biryani. This is the pesty chutney way, not the traditional way, slightly differently, and it's okay to do some things which are a little bit different. We want to give it with a little bit of salad, so we have some freshness, some crunchiness. We give it with some raita, which is a yogurt dressing, and we give it with some papadum, which is a nice crispy crackling, and enjoy. Yeah. So go ahead and taste it.
And cutlery. So I shouldn't use my hands.
You can use your hands, but as we are in Budapest, you know, you can go ahead, and we usually eat it with a spoon, but we give you the option how to use it with a fork and a knife as well.
Right? You would put some raita on also?
Yes, sure.
Okay. You have a good heart.
Yeah,
I can taste your heart in it.
You can taste the heart in it, huh?
It's still in there, right?
Yeah, it is there.
Wow,
Probably.
It's more like sour, I would say. It's wet, if you can say it that way.
Yes.
A lot of people also make
very dry. You know, I like it a little bit wet because it's more easier to eat if it's a little bit wet and not so dry. So it has to be a nice balance.
Full of flavors too.
Thank you very much.
It's amazing. It's very good. And it's just so simple to make it.
Well, it is a long process.
yeah, but
yeah,
it's very good.
Thank you.
So this was amazing. One of the best biryanis I've had, actually.
Thank you very much.
It wasn't so dry and so, like you say, powdery. It was still like very fresh. It was very good. Thanks for showing me how to do this. I think I have to practice a few times to learn this.
That's all right. Don't worry. You know, you just take it one step at a time
and follow the heart.
Yes, and it was an honor and a pleasure to cook for you.
And if you want to see some of Allen's content, you should check out his channel. There's a link in the description. It's at Allen Diwans.
Yes.
And it's pretty motivational content you make. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe to the channel.